Hello. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Samson Pruitt. I am owner and co-founder of Slither Incorporated. I want to talk about something today that I've been meaning to talk about for many months. I'm just so busy, it's hard to get these videos out. But what you should understand, starting this video off, is that although you see me as a big retic breeder and someone who sells animals, I am started as a customer. And I've probably spent more money in this industry on buying into reticulated pythons than anyone else in the world. So I understand what it feels like to be a customer. And what I want to talk about leading into the subject of the videos is my experiences with the people who sold me animals over the years, and those experiences having fashioned my mindset about the way that I want to treat my customers. So, of course, in the beginning, you want to buy specific genetics that you want to have to make specific genetic combinations that you desire to make. And in the current climate of the industry, there's going to be multiple different people, usually, who have the ingredients that you're looking for. So it's pretty much a buyer's market. When I got into it, it was totally different. There were 3 or 4 people in the United States that had the genetics. And you chose one of those guys and you worked with them, or you worked with all of them and you paid their price and you got what you got. Where today you have the ability to pick and choose the people that you're going to buy from. I would implore you to consider what type of a person, what type of a seller you're investing your money with. Because there are numerous people in this industry who only care about the bottom line. They only care about producing the most prolific genetics, the easiest to sell genetics, the most popular genetics, and then they only care about selling them as quickly as they can possibly sell them. They do not have a passion for the animals. They do not have a passion for the industry, and they don't care about the money that you're investing beyond getting it into their PayPal account as quickly as possible. A lot of the time, I have people question me about my prices because my prices are higher than most, maybe the highest in the entire country. The reason for that is I believe that the animals genetically are much better and much higher quality than most of the other animals that you'll find, and most of the other representations of those genetics that you'll find. First and foremost, that being said, I produce some of the lower grade of the genetics, and I sell those animals as pet quality animals instead of investment quality animals. But more than just the genetics and being the best genetics in the country, my customer service comes from a different place. There's a different foundation. One of the biggest mistakes that most of the big breeders in the United States make is seeing a customer that is successful at building a collection of animals and actually reproducing those animals as a threat. Deep down inside, most of the big breeders want you to come in, invest your money, fail, and get out and leave the industry. Where the smart ones, including myself, see that if you are successful in your breeding endeavors, it actually creates and generates more market, more revenue, more of the things that we need to continue to build this industry. That's why Slither Inc. has always professed that we are friendly to all newcomers on every level, because the industry has to grow in order to thrive. There's just no other way around it. Otherwise, 50 different breeders sit around and breed snakes and trade with each other. And what does that end up doing? Nothing. We all end up having too many animals that we can't afford to care for. So the business model that Slither has become is one of, instead of trying to make you my customer and convince you to buy my animals and continue to come back and buy my animals, I've figured out that it's in my best interest to make you a partner on some level. Obviously, if you buy a $300 snake, you are not going to be a full partner of Slither Incorporated. I look at it more along the lines of, if my company were to go public and you were investing in stock. So buying a snake from me gives you the ability to get my knowledge and my help and my customer service on every level. I will help you any way that I possibly can. Now, there are other options available that I would like to touch on, and this is the purpose for the video. You have the ability to buy into a partnership, a breeding partnership with Slither Incorporated. For my customers, that the really, really close customers that are always really loyal to me, I started a few years ago, about 4 years ago, offering the ability for you to buy an animal that maybe you wouldn't invest in, an expensive animal, a really, really high genetic combination or rare genetic combination, and have the ability to buy it for half price. Cheap, right? $5,000 snake for $2,500. But here's the catch. The catch is that Slither Inc. remains a 50% owner of that animal. So this is the way that it works. You buy the snake from me for half price, which means I'm paying for the other half. We are 50% partners on that animal. You take the animal home and you feed it and care for the animal until the animal is old enough to be ready to breed. And then you and I can get together and make a decision about the best way for us to proceed. Some of the very first people that I did this deal with have come around this season and are finally having those females that they've been feeding for 4 years start to be ready to breed. A couple of them have decided that they wanted to do the breedings themselves. We've communicated. I've taught them. I feel comfortable that they're going to be successful. And so we're deciding what males to use and how we're going to do the males. Some of them decided that they would be more secure and more possibly successful, more at an advantage to be successful, to send me the female and let me do the breeding. I actually have 3 or 4 gravid females right now that were bought by customers under this breeder program. And generally, what I will do is I will take the animal, I will breed the animal, we will produce a clutch, we will do a split clutch. If you need my help selling the animals, we can negotiate a wholesale value for the animals that you're keeping. And generally, depending on the female and how much you spend on her, usually what the agreement will be is that you and I split her first 2 or 3 clutches, and after that, you have the ability to own the animal free and clear without having to give me any additional income or any additional payment. It is a really, really genius idea if you look at the big picture. First of all, I hold back 100, maybe 200 hatchlings every season because I have to maintain the replacement genetically of the females that are in my collection. It's a lot of mouths to feed, guys. It's a lot of work. Imagine 100 extra hatchlings that have to be cared for on top of the entire collection that next year are going to be yearlings, and the year after that are going to be 2 or 3 or 4 until they're old enough to actually breed. We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of animals, and it's just overwhelming, to say the least. By doing this, it gives me the ability, by doing this partnership deal, it gives me the ability to not have to worry about holding back so many animals on every single project that I do. Plus for me, no doubt about it. I don't have to feed them. I don't have to care for them. All I do is wait for the animals to get old enough to be able to breed, and then we figure out the best way to breed them. For you, the benefits are, first of all, saving 50% of the cost of the animals. So if you were going to invest $10,000 in a reticulated python breeding program, you're getting $20,000 worth of animals from Slither Incorporated for your $10,000 investment. That gives you a lot more buying power. That gives you the ability to upgrade the genetics dramatically, twice, 100% better genetics. So it also gives you the ability to utilize my experience. I am unquestionably one of the most prolific breeders in the world of reticulated pythons. And I don't say that cocky and I don't say that egotistical. It is a fact. I know how to breed them. I am successful at putting eggs in the box, which, if you're investing in anything, the most important thing is the quickest return on your investment. So you can buy your own animals. 10 grand gets you $10,000 worth of animals. If you buy really smart females and you raise them yourself and you get them all to breed at 4 years old, you've got $10,000 worth of snakes. You did it on your own. You didn't have to have anybody else help. There's no clutch splits. Sounds great. But it is unlikely that you will be successful with more than 1 or 2 of those females, where I will have a much higher level of success. So you get my experience, you get my ability, you have the ability to get a quicker return on your investment, and then you have the ability to have the option of allowing me to help you sell the animals. Because if you're my partner, then we're not competing against each other. There's not 5, 6, 7 extra people that have the same clutch that are trying to sell against each other. I've done split clutches a lot of times with breedings with other people. I generally refrain from doing partnership breedings on the most part anymore because I don't need to do it with other people. But when I have customers, that's a different story because that's something that we're agreeing to in the beginning. But that gives, when 2 people own a clutch, inevitably they're going to be competing against each other in the market on those exact same animals. If you keep the animals that you want to hold back from the clutch and you give me the opportunity to sell everything else for you, it means that we're not competing against each other, and it just makes everything much, much easier for everybody to deal with. This video is getting a little bit too long. I just wanted to talk about it face to face so that you can hear it instead of reading about it. If you have any more interest or any interest in being involved in any of these types of programs, reach out to me. Reach out to me as soon as possible. I've got one of the best inventory lists in the world. I've got the best inventory list I've ever had. I've got so many animals that I need to move in order to make room for all of the clutches that are coming through this season. So it is the time for you to reach out to me and make the investments in the animals that you would like to have. I am wide open. Please feel free to contact me through Facebook, through Messenger, through text messages, or just pick up the telephone. I'm old guy, man. I'm old fashioned. I like to talk to people and I'm friendly. And if you feel like talking, reach out. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.